Join me in this very technical video and learn how to flawlessly rig your jig. They target to the eye. Pass the solid ring for snappers with single or double assist hooks.
This is a total mistake. The right assist hook size,
The size. An assist hook that doesn't work with long or short cord is significantly wider. One big.
whoa!
If we don't follow some rules,
It seems that a single big bloody assist hook
what is the perfect connection? Are close to the eye,
How the hell my jig left?
depending the shape of the jig. Asymmetric or that will get the first hookup. Be a true metal master. Find out how to master the appropriate rigging. Join me.
In fishing, having efficient hooks on your lure is the most important thing. For short jigging, this is even more critical, as you can only have one or two hooks hanging from a piece of cord. How this silly looking rigging can be so effective? What can we do to make it even more effective? What are the mistakes we might doing? This video is dedicated for those who wish to level up their skills and knowledge on fishing styles that use jigs and assist hooks. In short jigging, we barely use the drags of the reel. We only use them when it's absolutely necessary. That means that we keep on dragging the fish. Constant tension. It's a violent technique. You try to bring the fish as fast as possible close to you. And sometimes even lift it with your rod. So, you can understand the importance of the proper assist hooks, right?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Yeah, today we are going to see something really interesting and important. How to match this with this. Seems easy, huh? There are some parameters that I think that you should know. Because if we don't follow some rules, bad things are gonna happen. Before we start talking about the right rigging, we should know how to combine our leader with our braid. I have a very detailed video, link is up there. You should take a look and you will know anything you need about how to match the appropriate leader with the appropriate braid. Then you need to know how to tie properly the leader with a nice solid ring, a smooth solid ring. Link is up here. It will help you a lot to make a very strong knot like the MV knot you see here. Once we tie the solid ring to our leader, we have to choose an appropriate size split ring to pass it through our solid ring, and in that split ring we are going to pass the solid ring or solid rings of the assist hooks, depending how much we are going to use. And then we simply add the jig on this setup. So we have everything united in one efficient and strong split ring. That's a very efficient rigging, and you can choose jigs leaving the assist hooks on the split ring. So it's really easy as long as the jigs are adequate for these assist hooks. And this is what we are going to see now. How to match the right assist hook with the jig.
Before we move forward, we need to ensure that the connection between the solid ring, the split ring and the jigs ring have enough space to move freely. This is critical. If they don't, the action of the assist hooks won't be correct and the possibility of the split ring to open and grab the leader or lose an assist hook will be big. As I mentioned earlier, it is very important that the joint that connects our assist hooks and our jigs has a perfect movement. If it doesn't, and if something stuck in between, then bad consequences might happen. Here, I changed color of the jig, but I was careless, and the jig didn't totally enter the split ring. Look what happened.
It is a bit deeper, Joe. A bit. Whoa! Come on! And this doesn't feel like a grouper.
Maybe it's connected.
Now it stopped reacting, but before... it still reacts. No. Yes.
Another.
It is a snapper. Look how good. Oh, the jig.
Nailed it.
How the hell my jig left? Hey guys, I know that I promised that I'm going to bring more and more technical details because many of you are craving for it, and that's why I'm here. I'm going to share everything with you, and you can decide if what I show suits your fishing or not. Now we are ready to move forward with combining the best assist hook rigging on different jigs. Let's start. One of the most important things that you have to understand is that fish won't come and take the jig from behind. This is very, very rare. They target to the eye. So, 99 out of 100 attacks on our jig are going to happen on the head because the fish wants to stop the running bait fish. If it grabs it from the tail, it might slip. But if it grabs it from the head, everything is over. It stops it. So that's why most predators are attacking on the head. This is why our assist hooks are always around the eye. The distance is close to the eye and usually up to the 1/3 of the jig, not far behind. Before everything else, we need to understand how assist hooks work. So, we are jigging, and the jig goes up, up, up. Between every jig, it makes a small stop or a bit slide back, depending the shape of the jig. So in the whole sequence, our assist hook does this. Because jig, drop, jig, drop, jig, drop. So that happens all the time. If you have a long assist hook and the attack occurs during the rest moment, then the assist hook is very far from the biting area. This is why we never use very long assist hooks. They are useless. You don't want to use them, believe me. The shorter, the better.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is a total mistake.
This might look strange to many of you, right? very short assist hooks for such a long jig, but they work fantastic. Fantastic. Because they are very close, and every time the jig ups, down, they stay very close to the biting area. So when the fish attacks, even if they are far, once you pull your leader during jigging, they are very close to grab the fish that is already here. So that's something that you really need to understand. Not long assist hooks. Okay? Just make sure that your assist hooks are close to the eye or a bit lower, but no more. And on any occasion, not even in the middle of your jig. Not at all. Guys, if you want to support me further, feel free so by joining a membership. Memberships are up here. Choose your plan if you want to, would be awesome, and you will have access, depending the level that you will choose, to fishing locations, more fishing videos, and many other privileges. Thank you. The assist hooks on the head will never tangle with your leader. Ain't gonna happen, because it's not possible, especially if they have some fluorocarbon inside. Also, when they are on the bottom and you lift them, they are the first that goes up, so it's a bit hard to snag. Here I'll come to a common question about people asking if they can put assist hooks on the tail or a treble hook on the tail. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As I said, most of the fish will attack on the head, on the first third of your jig. So that's exactly where your assist hooks should be. If you have them on the tail, the first thing is that you won't be able to jig efficient, because they will grab and toggle on your leader. Also, when your jig is on the bottom and you lift it, they will act like an anchor and grab any possible obstacle that is there. Guys, it's very important that we have tried and checked our assist hooks on our jigs from home, not from on the place that we are going fishing, because it's you need to know what's happening. You must do some small tests before you go fishing, and that's what I'm going to show you now. First of all, we need to be sure that the size of the assist hook is perfect for the jig. And I'm not talking now about the length of the cord, but I'm talking about the curve of the hook.
This board is just for reference and it's not precise. The right assist hook size is highly dependent from its shape and the brand.
We need to be sure that on any occasion will not grab the body and stay locked there. It must always slip and be impossible to grab the body. If that happens, then we have an assist hook that doesn't work. It does nothing. So it's impossible to hook the attacking fish. And you don't want that, do you? So in order to be sure that the assist hooks don't grab on the body of the jig, are two ways to succeed that. Either that the curve of the assist hooks is smaller than the body, so it simply can't go in, or if it is significantly wider, so for one more time is impossible to grab. We must avoid width similar to the width of the jig because it might stuck there and okay, super important.
We check if the hook grabs the body always at the limit of the cord. It is super important to trust your assist hooks, but it's even more important to be sure that the assist hooks match perfectly your jig.
Okay. What color are you using, Joe, now? Put a sardine.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
It's not like the other, it's much smaller, but
Yeah, I can see the...
come up. It's a small amberjack. A baby amberjack. So they are here. Come. Hello, baby amberjack. Bye bye. Woohoo! We really care that the action and the rotating ability of our connection is efficient and doesn't stuck at all, because we really crave for fast acting assist hooks. The fastness of the assist hooks and the response is super critical for our fishing. This is why I avoid using small octopuses on the assist hooks. I used to in the past, and sometimes when fish are very lazy, they are very effective, but they make the response of the assist hook very slow, and I don't want that. Some tensils, however, are not a bad idea. With one assist hook or two assist hooks? That's another tricky question, because whatever you choose, you have to compromise something. So, here is the deal. When you have two assist hooks, then you have, of course, significantly more chances to set the hook, one of the two hooks, to the attacking fish, because there are two. On the other hand, two assist hooks apply more tension to the jig when it falls, so it slows down and a bit kills the action, the fluttering action of the jig, especially when it falls, because they have more resistance. One assist hook has less resistance and allows the jig to play more freely, but it's one hook, so less chances to set the hook. What we normally can do is to use one big single assist hook on a jig, which saves us from snags, because you have less snags when you have one hook instead of two. And also it's perfect for fish that inhale. So fish like amberjacks and groupers with big mouth that inhale, they will have perfect results even with one assist hook, because they will inhale it inside the mouth and you will have a good grip.
Here, Thanasis is targeting for amberjacks, so he is using just one big assist hook. He is also violating his SGS6 or jigging rod. I really wonder where he saw that. It seems that a single big bloody assist hook did the job done.
But a single assist hook sometimes doesn't work well with a biting fish, like snappers, barracudas, bonitos, and more. For these fish, 2 assist hooks are perfect. 2 assist hooks are also my preferred style of rigging because it gives lots of chances to get the fish that attacks.
Sometimes single assist hooks fail.
So if we go with double assist hooks, then we have asymmetric or same length. And of course we have double that are 2 on one solid ring, or we can simply put 2 single ones on the same jig. I prefer to use double, so I will avoid the extra solid ring because it's more weight and I don't want that. Then regarding same length or asymmetric, same length tend to hook the fish on the same spot. That means that it apply instantly on 2 points the hooking power at once. That is good and bad at the same time because you need more power to set 2 hooks, because we have to understand that 2 hooks are penetrating at the same moment. It's like the balloon on the pins. If you put a balloon on one pin, it will explode. But if you press a balloon on 100 pins, it won't. It will stay on. So it's a matter of surface. However, if 2 assist hooks penetrate on the same point, perfect. On the other side, there are the asymmetric ones. The asymmetric ones have a small difference of length. So usually, the shorter one is the one that will get the first hookup. And then the other one that stays unhooked will hook externally the fish. That usually brings the fish hooked from 2 directions, and when you pull the fish, you break its normal direction because you pull it from 2 different areas on the body. And sometimes for some fish, for example, for amberjacks or snappers that they run on the rocks, if you pull them from 2 different points on their body, you destroy their natural swimming and you can easily keep them away from the rocks. That's a cool information, huh?
Sometimes fish attack to push away, and when they do that, they simply hit our lure with their head. Watch the failed strike. Next time I will be ready. Double assist hooks did the job.
Yes! Shit! I'm behind the rock. Look now what happened, guys. Oh. No, no, no. There is another rigging option using very small access hooks on jigs like this. They look small, but this rigging is perfect for pelagic, and I'm talking about bonitos and albacores because they have relatively smaller mouth, and these access hooks are perfect. Small access hooks are also sometimes ideal for snappers. When you wanna fish them in very rough bottoms, then guys, very small access hooks are perfect for two reasons. First, they are very hard to snag on the bottom, and if they do, they release easily their grab, and a snapper, such small access hooks, it will inhale them both inside and you will get hook. So don't look them as one by one, just multiply the thickness of the wire because you will get the fish from both hooks. So you need to understand that pulling a fish is hard to get ripped because it's the width of the two hooks and not single one. If you was using just one, then it would be very possible to rip off the fish. So that's another smart idea for rough bottoms for snappers or pelagic fish. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned because more cool videos are coming, technical and fishing. Stay tuned. Thank you very much.